You're awake now. I summoned you just in time. Do you remember what happened? What you've done?
I ripped out.
I'm frankly amazed you would go to such lengths, even to fight back against the spell. If I hadn't saved you, you really would be dead.
جدع عمور ابن حلال ياض ابن حلال. والله طول عمرك ابن حلال. ده أول يوم بقول عليك كده.
Far, far away from that hellish world. Do you remember the first time we met? I was sure you would find a clue in your journey that might reveal where in the world this place is, but I was wrong. This place is... It was never of that world to begin with. This is a place that exists between reality and fantasy. In other words, the world we've been living in is fantasy. The journey was all an illusion.
العالم بتاعنا هو.
There's nothing but despair in that world. And it will never get better. I'd always believed that creating a utopia was possible. And if there was desire, then I thought maybe one day someone... But I came to realize I was mistaken. But all that primordial chaos only exists in that world. The world of reality is nothing like that. Really, it's an environment you should know quite well. You've come to know so much of it already. Through text on a page. Now, behold!
This is the real world. هو ده العالم الحقيقي.
Isn't this?
احنا بنلعب
It's
الفانتسي.
the world I wrote accounts of in my novel. Until now, you've thought this world a mere fantasy. But it's not.
So the world I know is all an illusion. And the world of the novel is... reality?
Surely you already know. There is no deadly magic, no prejudice between its people. Now, all you have to do is admit that everything you've been through has been nothing but a story, just a fantasy. Then this can be your perfect reality.
No.
Your journey of revolution was just a passing dream. Let me take you back to reality, child.
What will happen to my friends?
My social links are real يا اسطى.
As long as you can accept that this place is real, everyone will be safe. That world is past any point of redemption. Change is impossible. The royal magic was supposed to be the turning point, but it was all for nothing. In the end, people don't want their world to change. They just
أنا مش
want
واثق
someone to
فيك
be
يا
a
مور.
sponge for their infinite anxieties. That's all. You can't blame Luis for wanting to end that cycle. How could anyone accept that they lived in a world that miserable?
Even so, I don't want to give up on it.
Come on, snap out of it!
What?
خدعة من لويس.
My, such disbelief on your face. But once you stop to consider it, the ideas fall apart. Come now. Magic? Some otherworldly force capable of anything with anxiety as its fuel? A fanciful idea to sustain
عايز
that
تخدعني
fantasy
ياض.
world. Illusion. All of it. Those curiosities in academia, they were there because of the place's connection to true reality. And not even they could endure. You still don't believe me. Why is that?
This place... I know it's not real.
But why? What unfinished business remains in an unwinnable battle? If I hadn't saved you, you would have died there. You don't have to chase your fears and anxieties based on some misguided concept of justice. It was all illusory. And there is no shame in accepting that. Reality is a monolith. Reality is unchangeable. So stay here in Utopia. In the
يوتوبيا ايه يا عم؟ ده العالم اللي احنا فيه ده عالم خرا. قال لك يوتوبيا.
This place, it isn't a utopia.
مش يوتوبيا خالص يا اسطى.
You mean you deny it? Will you deny that the world of the novel is Utopia?
I can at least cast my usual spell for you. It's the small comforts, right? Music was the first magic this world ever knew, after all. Makes the road a little easier, right?
The journey, my friends, they were as real as anything I've known.
دي حقيقة.
Why won't you understand?
Human connection is the best thing يا اسطى.
Please, I don't want you to die. I can't lose anything else. Truly, I see. I understand now. I remember. I had indeed lost everything. Despite my lofty ideals, I lost everything. Academia, the woman. Reality isn't just cruel. It's cruel beyond any hope of change. That's why I had wished for someone to strike me down and end my misery.
Who are you?
Me. My name is Ethludius V. I once,
ابوي
or
ابوه
I'm half of one to be accurate.
بابي
I was born of the very magic
Bobby.
that split the prince in twain and gave rise to you and this place. No, it is not real. We are inside the book you hold. It served as your key to visiting me. This was the form of my youth, when first I entered the ancient sanctum. Perhaps it would be best to call me a discarded shadow of idealism. I once took such joy and passion from my ideals. I truly believed that I might end the strife and discrimination that plague, but the tremendous incomprehension and injustice that defines our world, it was more than I could bear. It broke me. I want to save you from that despair. I understand now that I would do this as your father. I could not bear to lose my child a second time. If you stay here, at least you'll be saved. Do you truly still want to leave this place and risk your life to face a reality you can't change?
The battle's not over yet.
You are on the cusp of dying in Luis's hands. Is that not proof enough that we lack the power to change reality? I can't let you throw your life away against that man. I must stop you. Fantasy is a curse, sweet in seeming. And if I must save you from it, I will teach you what reality is.
What the heck dude انت بتعمل ايه؟
I suppose how I promised to travel the world someday is destined to be only another unfulfilled dream. Archetypes embody the power of heroes who sought to change the world. And even having mastered such power against Luis, I wrote all my ideals into my novel. But my love's death showed me how empty it all was. You cannot sacrifice your one life for an empty dream.
I don't want to turn my back on my ideals.
Why can't you see that those ideals will only invite ruin? If no one else, you must live. That world is beyond your help, beyond any utopia.
Let's go.
So you would vainly struggle onward in the real world, then even my folly has come to haunt you. My mistakes poison your life. As your father,
Let's take. This is it!
it was in this story, in this book, where you found your ideals. Haven't you always dreamt of you? Why?
I won't hold back! The magic seat's still here?
Why? You were my first reader.
I will fight.
What? So this is what it means to truly strive toward. What power? If you go back now, your ambitions will avail you nothing. You'll only die a dog's death. What is it that drives you so?
You gave up on your hopes, but I will not.
What? You think I chose to give up? Are you this determined to cling to your beliefs? Is that truly what separates us and keeps me confined here? Such power. Can it
افهم بقى يا حمار.
how dire your fate? You never gave up. You surmounted every barrier, gathered and united soul after across 3 nations, 8 tribes, and humankind. To unite heroes across such abyssal divides would require surpassing power. Is that the role you would seize?
Do you hear me? Your Highness!
سامعك يا هالكنبرغ. سترول يا اسطى.
How? Their voices reach you? Even here?
My friends are waiting for me.
The support and ardor of your allies. Yes. The very power that reveals paths beyond your own perspective. I see. That is whence you draw your power.
فهمت بقى؟
Neglect anxiety, and magic will lead to ruin. Even before the war of destruction, the downfall was foretold. Perhaps archetypes are the will of humankind of old, left to us. A plea that we learn from their failures, that we might rebuild the future ripped from them.
I have to try.
Fascinating. Even as you face down the gravest oppression of reality, still you persist. Still you seek the world's unknowns. I see. Well, if you can believe, once you return to reality, this place will surely fade as the dream it is. But if I truly am the idealized soul and hope of your father, then before I fade, I entrust you with the power of my life. Not as the author more, but as your father, the king. Now then. All right.
Let's go.
However, the kingdom rests in your hands now.
قشطة يا اسطى قشطة خلاص.
If there is yet any value to believing in something beyond us,
He's awake!
Is he all right?
Thank the stars.
Considering it was we who engaged Amata's gambit, this must be rather humorous to him.
We pulled through, thanks to Neurus. Can't believe he caught us mid-plummet on that busted Skyrunner.
Well, don't leave out Heis, mate. Wouldn't have expected his wings to be so handy.
Never again.
We're in good shape. Our wounds have already healed. It was all so fast. I'm still a little shocked.
True. It's bound to be everyone hoping the best for us below. Like what Luis did. Only the magic working in reverse.
What?
اهمد بقى اهمد بقى.
Why? Why do you still stand in defiance? What drives such tenacity?
Luis! The world is full of injustice. Not everything you've said is wrong, much as it hurts to admit.
Yet, you would give up because you see no other way. And no future can come from that. We may struggle with fear and anxiety, but we shape our own destiny with our own hands. I have no doubts.
Yes, you're a man who has endured tragedy. It's foolish, I know, all this talk of belief. I know well. That said, if you cast aside all belief, all that remains is to endure a slow death.
As for me, I believe things can change. I have to. Singing and believing aren't so far apart, right? Even then, my songs touched you too. I know they did.
After I'd idealized my death more than I ever did my life, thanks to a chance encounter, everything changed for me. Now I can hope for the best, without fearing for the worst. The possibilities are endless. If you ask me, that's what magic is.
Luis, you got all these people who believe in you, because you gave them a shred of hope. And now, you want to crush that hope. Maybe you're the one who's scared. Deep down, you're afraid to admit to yourself, you're the one who's hopeless now.
Luis, the fairies came to live in the Sanctum. But do you know why we chose it? The Elder Tribe. We admired the people of humanity. To make our dreams into realities, we have to trust each other. When people do that, that's what makes them so amazing. If you deny the power of trust, if you make the world a place where it can't exist, then you're just plain wrong!
Fools. These false foundations. Who in their right mind could promise such fantasies? I will never let injustice be repeated. Never again!
يخرب بيتك يخرب بيتك يا ابن اهمل. اهمد شوية بقى.
Aura is entirely different. It's a magla burst. Luis is becoming a human.
والله يحرقك لويس ال17.
We prove ourselves with all that we are.
Let's go then. This is our final battle.
اخدك على الجليتين يا لويس ال17. اصبر يا اسطى.